Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. Saturday, Wembley Stadium, Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0. Books our place in the FA Cup final against the odd mob again. Yeah, we wait a lifetime for a FA Cup final against them, and two come along at once. Good result for City, a result I think we needed. We needed as a team, we needed as a fan base. The Real Madrid game on the Wednesday, the extra time and the penalties, I think it took it out of the fans. I feel that a lot of the fans were flat, but it took it out of the team more than ever. We've seen Guardiola having a whinge about the scheduling. In my opinion, he's right. It's not about, you know, favourable to teams, etc. It's about player safety and player health. When Chelsea and Man United and Coventry have had no midweek game, and they're playing on the Sunday, and City's just gone 120 minutes with Real Madrid on a Wednesday, I can understand his frustration. I believe that Manchester City couldn't even pick the team till the morning of the game because of the players didn't know who was going to be feeling up for it, etc., etc. And as you witnessed, you know, in the game, you know, you could see players like Rodri tailing off. You could see players like Stones, you know, struggling. Kevin De Bruyne struggling. Bernardo Silva struggling. You know what I mean? Fatigue. The passing was off. It wasn't sharp. It wasn't crisp. But I tell you what, we got away with it. And I was so happy at full time. And I thought, yeah, that is exactly what we needed. A good boost. You know what I mean? Another FA Cup final against United at Wembley. But the manner that we dug in and we held our own, we created chances, we ridden our luck at times, but we got the win. You know what I mean? First of all, the lineup. I don't think anybody could predict the lineup because of the situation we was in. Obviously, Kyle Walker coming back from injury against Madrid, and then he's gone and played another 90 minutes. Fair play to him. Johnny Stones, Akanji, and Nathan Ake, Rodri, De Bruyne, Foden, Bernardo, Alvarez, and Grealish. Erling Haaland didn't make the game. You know, he's injured. A lot of nonsense being sprouted on social media about De Bruyne and Haaland asking to come off against Madrid, etc. Well, one of them was out for 6 months with a hamstring. So if he's feeling it, then he's better to let the manager know. Because if he pulled his hamstring and didn't say out, everyone would give him shit. And Big Earl, obviously, it proves he was struggling because he didn't make the next game at Wembley. So hopefully Erling will be back soon. I don't think it's the end of the world, but hopefully he'll be back soon. But Alvarez came in, and looking at the game, looking at the overall of the game, you know, we've been giving Erling a bit of criticism this last few weeks about, you know, City not playing to his strengths and that. But Alvarez is exactly the same. He didn't have many chances. Wasn't really in the game. I feel like that position up front at the minute, I feel like City would benefit from a false nine. You know, somebody who could drop a little bit deeper, a smaller, more mobile striker. But I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird. I just feel like we're a man down sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's not the player's fault. It's the system. The system's not playing to the striker. You know what I mean? But, you know, we're getting there. We're thereabouts in the league. We're in the final of the FA Cup. We can't moan. You know what I mean? We won all the trophies last year. Nobody's moaning. It's just an observation. You know what I mean? It's an observation. But anyway, the game started okay. You could see that City were a little bit jaded. Passing wasn't sharp, giving the ball away. Kyle Walker bombing forward, getting caught out. We're getting caught on the counter-attack. And one thing's for certain, if Nicholas Jackson, could finish, then we'd have been in big trouble, I think, because the amount of chances he had. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm not moaning about the penalty decision. I'll get on about that in a bit, but I'd be more concerned that my striker's getting one-on-ones and free headers and he can't score. I feel like Ortega in net was brilliant. I feel like some of these one-on-ones, I feel like Ortega's a little bit more calm. I think he stares the striker down a little bit and he gives it to the last minute to make his decision. I feel like Eder was going to come tearing arsing out in one of them and smash that Jackson all over the place. You could see that. So I was glad Ortega was in net for this one. I thought Nathan Ake coming back as well. He was solid. I thought Akanji was brilliant again. I know he gets criticised sometimes for going in midfield, but I tell you what, for a big mobile man, I think he's learning on the job. I think he's added a lot to his game. And I think Akanji has been one of the unsung heroes this season for me. We're looking to the midfield. Rodri, again, he wasn't the same Rodri. There was times where you could see he was blowing, which is, you know, it's not his fault. He's played a lot of minutes. De Bruyne, the same, put a shift in. Bernardo Silva looked tired. Foden didn't really get in the game. I feel like Chelsea were trying to stifle us playing through the middle. They've got Conor Gallagher, Fernandez, etc. in there. Caicedo, just destroy us, just trying to break it up. But I think Chelsea lack quality. I do. I think they lack quality. I think if they've got a quality marksman, I feel like they're in the top four. Because that Jackson, for me, he's not. His body language, his attitude, I've seen the way he was taking that ball off Palmer the other week and pushing him and that. I just don't think he's got it for Chelsea. But, you know, I'm glad he don't play for me. But anyway, the game was dragging on and dragging on. I did think City was always in it. I feel like we was creating chances as well. Jeremy Doku coming on for Grealish. Grealish didn't have a bad game. I thought he was okay, but he was unfortunate to come off because I thought he was playing well, but he clashed knees, and I think Pep thought, you know what, we'll freshen it up. But big up Jeremy Doku, because I feel like in the last few weeks he's learned a lot more. He's not been as gung-ho as he has been in previous weeks. I feel like he's a little bit calmer on the ball now. He's making better decisions. And I tell you one thing, when the kid comes on, defenders start to fucking know they're in for a hard time. You know what I mean? Chelsea changed the fullback, but he was all over him like a rash. And the City goal, I think it was Jeremy and De Bruyne link up, and the ball comes across, gets deflected out. Bernardo kept his calm. You know what I mean? He could have been tempted to blast it, a bit like what De Bruyne did at Real Madrid. Kept his calm and he puts it in. And you know what? I was so happy for him because nobody was getting on his back after Real Madrid. He's Bernardo Silva. This football club loves him. Everything about Bernardo Silva, what he's done for this team, we absolutely adore him. So nobody was getting on his back. We were just like, what a mad penalty that was. But I could see the relief come off him when he scored, as if to think, you know what, I've redeemed myself. And when he come to the City end in the corner where I was, and he's touching his badge and that, and I thought, you know what, that's good. It means a lot to the fans, that, and it means a lot to him as a person, to let the fans know that, you know, the game and Man City and that. And I thought, brilliant, we smashed and grabbed it here. A lot of people talking about the penalty, the handball from Grealish. I mean, listen, let's be honest. If they'd have give it, we couldn't have said anything. But nobody knows the rules of this handball now. Last year in the final against United, Jack Grealish has jumped in the air to head it with his back to the player. The player's headed the ball onto his arm, penalty. I've seen the exact same thing happen in the Everton game where Ashley Young has done 3 penalties, not got one given, but he did exactly the same. The player's put the ball onto his arm, no penalty. So for me, to stop all this confusion and stop all this like nonsense, we need a clear section in the handbook of what is a penalty regarding handballs. We know if it bounces off the player and hits his arm, it's not. Do you know what I mean? But we've got to take into account the natural movement of players when you jump. If you've played the game, you know how you jump, you know what I mean? But Jack's had his arm on Alvarez. Alvarez has jumped and the wall's moved. So he's brought his arm down, he's tried to bring his arm down, which to me is a natural position, because if I've got my arm on your shoulder and you move, then I'm not keeping my arm in midair. I'm going to bring it down, and he's hit the ball. The ball ain't going in, it's going straight in the goalie's hand anyway. But I'd rather them come out and explain it and say, we didn't give this because we decided this, and this. But then to not give a corner just made it worse for me. It made it worse because it was a corner. And, you know, if they'd give a penalty, we couldn't have moaned. But listen, we rid it. We got away with it. And then we went up the other end and we scored and we held on near the end. And we're through. We're through to the final. Yesterday, one of the greatest semi-finals I've seen for a while. United Coventry. Thought they'd won it at the end, Coventry. Thought they've snatched it here. Brilliant. What scenes in the Coventry end. But it reminded me of when City scored against Tottenham in the Champions League and everyone was ballooning, falling down rows and all that. And then you look up and you see that VAR and you think, oh, no, please, no. And then bang, it kills you. Them Coventry fans must have been sick yesterday. Them young kids who don't really understand the VAR must have been sick yesterday after thinking that they beat Man United. But yeah, fair play to Coventry. Big respect. United, on the other hand, listen, it is what it is. We'll see them again. We just got to make sure that we are ready 100% to kill them at Wembley. After they played yesterday and what we saw from them yesterday, we cannot be getting beat off them at Wembley. Simple as that. So, listen, 25th of May, Man City, Man United, FA Cup final. Unbelievable. Unbelievable games. So, we've got to make sure we can do it. But going on to the game, the relief at the end, seeing the players, seeing the way Pep celebrated, seeing the way Guardiola celebrated and that, I thought it showed good character from the players and relief. And listen, we've got a massive, massive month coming up. You know, the Premier League is in our hands. The FA Cup now is in our hands. Go out there, 6 games in the league, 1 in the Cup, come away with a double, 4 in a row Premier League. It's history. It's what dreams are made of. You know what I mean? That is what we've got to focus on now. We've got no Europe coming up. We've all got to pull together and get behind the boys again. You know what I mean? Get behind the boys again. Injury-wise, I haven't heard anything. So people asking me about injuries, I've not heard anything. But I know we've got Brighton on Thursday night. Brighton is going to be a tough game. It's not an ideal place you want to go on a Thursday night. We've got to be ready for it. We've got to be motivated. We've got to be on the ball. And listen, 1-0, dude. Just got to win. Win is all. That's it now. Win at all costs. No draws. Liverpool got a win yesterday against Fulham. It was a good win, to be fair. Arsenal won at Wolves. So the pressure's back on us. But we just got to do it. We've got to keep our noses in front. Definitely. Brighton on Thursday, I don't think I'm going. I've got so much work to do and I've been gallivanting all around Madrid and London and Monaco, and finally realised that I need to have a week at work. So I am literally going to swerve Brighton on Thursday. There's a competition running on the Instagram for 2 tickets in the City away end for Brighton. Courtesy of Big Steve and terracecult.com. So go on there if you want to win them tickets, and you'll be in with a chance. The winner will be announced tomorrow. And yeah, someone who's never been to a game, an away game, if you can get to Brighton, get in the competition, you could win them tickets. Go and enjoy yourself. Other than that, Blues, I was just proud of the team. We got down to Wembley early doors. We went in a box park. Really good atmosphere in Box Park. I've seen people who are handing out all the bananas and that. All the kids were waving the bananas about and all that. Anyone that doesn't know anything about Man City and the bananas, it stemmed from, I think it was the 80s, where City signed Imre Verede, but people nicknamed him Imre Banana. And then inflatable Jiffy bananas started to turn up. If you look at old videos, Stoke Boxing Day, the City end is full of bananas. If you Google Manchester City bananas, you'll see all the pictures of the fans with the bananas. So this is not something new. This is something from a long time ago. Main Road and stuff like that. We have had a couple of revivals of bananas over the years. We did one at Old Trafford a few years ago, and Man United didn't like it. They popped all the bananas and tried to spoil the fun. Wembley Stadium were a little bit more accommodating, so it was good to see. But I'm all up for a banana revival. Bring it back for me. I don't care. Bring it back. I love the bananas. It's proper Man City retro stuff, so it's a bit of fun. and the kids loved it. I got on the stage at the Box Park, did a little bit of an interview with Fan Zone Danny, and we try to get the kids motivated and that, and it was good. There was all sorts going on. There was giveaways, signed shirts. They had a band on, loads of food in there. Yeah, so it was bang on. And then we came out of the Box Park and we mooched up to the Torch. City had got the Torch. Good atmosphere in there. Good sing-song. Always a good little pub, that. And then we mooched out of the ground. Didn't see any trouble. Didn't see any incident. You know, decent game all round. What does make me laugh, yeah, is the amount of knobheads online that was like, you didn't sell out your allocation, and was putting an old picture from 2022 where City had covered the seats with a banner and that. And I'm like, come on, man. Do you really believe this? You know, if people just put a picture on Twitter, thank God on Twitter now, it has a little explanation under the picture, and it said, this picture was not from 2023. It was from whatever date. And then it's like, if it weren't for that, how many gullible people would believe shit that they read online? Do you know what I mean? But I feel like, listen, if we're Manchester City and all people can come at us for now is empty seats and 115 charges, I feel like we've made it. I do, because when I was growing up as a kid, and most of you guys, City fans, were growing up, you could literally banter City about a million things because we were that bad and that shit. So now, 115, boring, empty seats. Yeah, mate, you're a seat sniffer. Anyone that's checking seats, you're a seat sniffer. You know what I mean? You're a pervert. You've got to sort your head out. You know what I mean? People messaging me about seats. I'm 42-year-old. I got the match. I don't care if I'm sat in there with 10 people, as long as I'm there. I really don't care. If people buy tickets and don't go, beyond caring about it now, you know what I mean? But, you know, these so-called clubs that don't care about Manchester City, the second they lose, they're all over us like a rash. And the second it's a big game at Wembley, the seat sniffers come out, you know what I mean? Start talking about how many seats and that. But listen, we all watched the game yesterday, Man United Coventry. We all seen the Man United end. We've seen the seats. We've seen the mass exodus at the end. We've seen them all running back, trying to get back in and that. Reminded me of Gillingham in '99 when all them City fans left at the end and then tried to run back in. It was mad. It was mad. But listen, people, we're there. We bounced back. We were a little bit flat. We had a day out at Wembley. It was fantastic seeing all the City fans there with the bananas and that and having the time of their life. We got the win. The players looked over the moon. They've got a couple of days off now. They're going to relax, chill out. And then it's all eyes on Brighton. All the Blues going to Brighton. Get behind the boys. Let's not get it flat. I know there's a lot of people not going to Brighton after Wembley. It's a tough month. It's been a tough month this month. Bernabeu, Madrid at home, you know, Wembley Stadium. There's a lot of people struggling with the dough. And as Pep said in the documentary, I love people can't put the eating on at home. They're choosing football over that. So this is not bullshit or banter, people. It's real life. Do you know what I mean? So then we're going to Brighton. Get behind the lads. Get behind the boys. Let's come back to Manchester with that win and get them 3 points. Let me know what you think. Leave me a message. Like, subscribe to my channel. The algorithm's been daft to me at the minute because I'm not doing enough content. So the like button does really help if you can hit that. Don't forget the competition on Instagram for the tickets for Brighton. Go over there. You never know. And let me know what you think, Blues. If you haven't checked it out yet, I'm on TikTok now, at Big Steve MCFC. Go over there. Get the odd video popping up, the odd live. We can interact, chat with me and that. And I'd just like to say, me and Daps, we were counting a weekend how many pictures I have in a day with people, right? And this is because they all take the piss because people say to them, can you just take a picture of me and Steve? So they feel like a cameraman. And then when I'm trying to walk somewhere, people stop me for pictures. And by the time I've finished taking a picture, everyone's lost me. So I always getting lost. So there's always banter about Steve just go an hour early because of the pictures. Well, the record on Saturday, 348 pictures I had with people. And listen, I don't mind having pictures with anyone. So it was brilliant. They were queuing off the stage at Box Park, all the kids and that. And listen, it's a bit humbling to me. It's a bit mad. Sometimes I feel a bit embarrassed by it. But I appreciate all the kind words. And like you say, 348 pictures. We won 1-0. We had a kebab and I went to bed. What a day. Big up the Blues. Come on, City. Let's beat Brighton. Up the Blues.